For the vast majority of the lower 48 states, snow season is over. Generally speaking, it was close to average in most places, the big exceptions being the upper Midwest and northern plains, the higher elevations of the west, and a very small sliver of the east. And let's take a national tour and look at the amount of snow this winter, the yellow number, and how that compared to average, which is in parentheses. And start with the big winner in the east, if you're a snow lover, that is, northern Maine. Caribou with almost 165 inches, 56 above average. Well inland, Burlington and Buffalo were also snowier than average by about 2 feet in both places. But near the coast, a lack of nor'easters left Boston 16 inches below average for the season, New York 5 inches below, while D.C., which doesn't average much snow anyway, was more or less right on the number. Heading west in the Midwest and northern plains, the sign of the anomaly was consistent, above average. Having said that, Marquette averages about 200 inches anyway, so 18 inches above average is barely noticeable there. Chicago had 8 inches of snow in April, very unusual, including 2.5 last Saturday. When the sun came out Sunday, it was easy to see the stripe of snow from northeastern Iowa into northern Illinois, but watch how quickly snow melts under the increasingly high April sun. Pretty much gone by the time clouds rolled in from the west late in the day. Now that storm missed Omaha and Minneapolis, where February was their snowy month. In fact, more than half of their winter totals fell in that month, which ended up being the snowiest February on record in both places. Now in the far west, the most unusually snowy winter was in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle's 21 inches was 14 above average, and nearly all fell in February. Now farther south, Reno is on the leeward side of the mountains, so they only average about 21 inches, but they exceeded that by about a third. And the same was true in the Sierra Nevada, where it was a great ski season. Best estimates, the fourth snowiest in modern records, though that led to a closure of Amtrak service for 6 days back in February through the mountains. Now the primary storm track was too far north for Salt Lake City and Denver. Both places fell short of their averages by about a foot. Closer to home, and again, the yellow number is how much snow fell this winter. The number in parentheses is the departure from average. Most of the major sites were at or below average, as much as 14 inches below in Scranton. And by the way, Allentown and Williamsport, which aren't on this chart, were right about average for the season. Only the lower Susquehanna Valley was substantially above average. Harrisburg had no measurable snow in December. Their 41 inches was almost spread equally among January, February, March, and November. And speaking of November, do you remember the early season snow in the middle of that month? Well, in State College, Harrisburg, Scranton, and Philadelphia, that turned out to be the biggest snowstorm of the season. Stay tuned. Next, we look forward into the first weekend of May in the extended forecast.